Hey guys, it's Kathleen with Thrifty Britches, and I am back with another What Sold video. I am currently in Indiana babysitting my adorable granddaughter, and I got her asleep, so I figured I would quickly do a What Sold video to kind of catch you up on some of the things that Karen and I have been selling. I haven't done one in a while, and so I have actually several to do. A ton to do, to be honest with you. However, I'm going to break it up into several videos because ain't nobody got time to sit through all that. If you're new to my channel, I'm a part-time reseller and a full-time school counselor, and I find undervalued merchandise all over the place and try to flip it for a profit on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and Etsy. So if this is your jam, please consider subscribing and hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, and do all the things that help us out so much. All right, guys, I'm going to jump right into it. First off, I wanted to talk about this falls graph lot that I picked up at a yard sale earlier in the yard selling season. I think I picked it up right around April. And if you remember, it was at a church yard sale, and I picked up an entire lot of falls graph vintage. And I think it was Meadow Lane. I think that was the name of the pattern, for only $10. So I like to pick up China. I have had some luck parting it out, and making some good money when I can get it for a good price. However, the downside to China is twofold. First of all, storage. It takes up a ton of room in your inventory. And second, shipping. Shipping is a pain in the butt. But I only paid $10 for this lot, and this is not the entire lot, but I did sell to one person 6 of the dinner plates, 3 of the salad plates, 2 serving bowls, a cream and sugar, and 1 oval platter. And the entire lot sold for $37.99. So that is not the entire lot that I picked up that day. So I figure I'm probably about $7 into this, and that flipped for $37.99. It moved fairly quickly. I probably only had it listed for about 3 weeks or so before all of that moved out. So I was super stoked to get rid of that. Obviously, because it was a huge lot going to one person, I discounted it significantly. Happy to do that. I still have 3 other lots listed, so everything from that is total gravy. All right, if you've been watching my channel, you know how much I love to pick up goodie hairbrushes that are new old stock sealed in the package. I was at an estate sale and I saw this one laying on the table. I paid only 50 cents for this sucker, and it sold for $28. And that is about the 5th time that I have sold this version brush. It is a cream and red, I don't know if you'd call it a vent brush, but it is definitely for styling, for blow drying your hair. And it has sold each and every time for $28. So you cannot beat that. Total BOLO. If you see any vintage goodie stuff out in the wild, scoop it up because it sells really, really well. Now, I have never tried to sell pre-owned goodie stuff, so I would say just the new in the package, but I don't know. Chime in the comments if you have sold used vintage goodie products and they have sold well as well, because I would love to learn that. All right, this Free People pink floral shirt. It was like solid on the bottom, and it had floral detailing all around the shoulders and the chest. Really, really cute, very oversized. It is in a size small, but to be honest with you, it looked more like a medium large. Picked that up at a yard sale for $3, and it sold for $15. Free People is just okay. I am picking it up very cautiously. So I'm not picking up everything that's Free People. If I can get it super, super cheap, like I did scoop up a bunch of them at a filler bag, so I was paying maybe $0.25 a piece, then I don't mind picking it up. Or if it is very different, like either a unique fabric content, anything silk, Free People I will pick up. Linen usually does pretty good as well. Or just has a really unique boho chic type of vibe, then I will pick it up. But other than that, the market is pretty much saturated on Free People. But even Free People new with tax sometimes sits for me before I am able to move it on out. So just be very cautious when you're picking up Free People these days. Okay, this pair of polo shorts is in a little girl's size 7 in a nice navy blue. I grabbed these at a church yard sale in the beginning of yard selling season, and I paid about $1 per piece. They were all new with tags. Honestly, I paid less than $1. I would say probably closer to 50 or 75 cents, but we'll go with $1 for my totals at the end. And they sold for $12. So kids polo new with tags doesn't sell terribly high, but it sells. I had picked up probably about 10 to 12 pieces, and I'm down to just a couple of pieces left, and it was only a couple of months ago, and most of them sold really quickly within the first couple of weeks of having listed them. This Florence Iceman jumper was in excellent condition, looked like new without tags. The white was crisp. The corduroy was super, super crisp and like stiff. Like you could tell it just hadn't been washed. So this was in a size 6. Karen nabbed this at an estate sale for only $2, and we flipped it for $20. Florence Iceman is a really, really good brand to pick up for little kids. I have sold stuff for boys before too, and it is kind of boutique-y. It's the stuff that, you know, you would get as part of your baby shower when people are still care and they're going through all the boutiques buying you nice stuff before they move on to Walmart and Target for you. So if you see it, it's worth picking up. I wouldn't pay a lot for it, but it has a really, really good following, and I have never had trouble moving Florence Iceman before. I grabbed this London Fog trench coat based upon style and size. It was in a size 3X. I got it on the last day at an estate sale. And I loved the style because it was super, it gave me almost like a Mrs. Maisel type of vibe. Really soft faux suede, had a hood that you could detach. It was just gorgeous in this buttery soft yellow color. So I paid only $1 for this on the last day of an estate sale, and it sold for $32. This Gap denim vest I picked up at a yard sale for only $1. It was in a size large. It is definitely vintage, and it sold for $18. I loved this Athleta pack everywhere dress. I loved everything about it. I loved the colors. I loved the pattern on it. And even though it was only in a size 6, Karen still picked this up at Goodwill. She only paid $4.99 for it, and it sold for $26. I loved this Eileen Fisher 100% wool long maroon maxi dress. I found this buried in a rack at an estate sale. Again, it was the last day of the estate sale. They were just unloading everything. It was $1 for 100% wool Eileen Fisher. Now, Eileen Fisher is definitely saturated and doesn't sell like it used to, but 100% wool, and even though it wasn't in the best of sizes, it was a small, which is my least favorite size to pick up. It still sold. Okay, so I paid only $1 for this, and it sold for $30. Now, it sat around a little while, but I expected that because it was 100% wool, so that's definitely a fall style. Okay, this Victoria's Secret French maid outfit. Karen picked this up at Goodwill. She paid $2.99 for it, and it sold for $18. So, kink sells. She picked up 2 of these that day. One worse than the other. There was this one, the French maid outfit, and then there was this atrocious red satin with a big satin bow on the chest and red satin garters and jingle bells. I kid you not. I mean, she dropped off this stuff when we met, when I was stealing stuff out of her death pile, and all I could hear when I was moving the bag in, jingle, 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 jingle. I thought, oh my God, can you even just imagine sleeping in this every time you roll over, let alone other things that you might do in the bed in this? So whatever, that one sold too. That one only sold for $10 because it was missing a garter. But this one went for $18. So keep that in mind. Even used kinky outfits sell. Who knew? Okay, I grabbed this Jillian Gray linen jacket. It was new with tags in a size large at the exact same yard sale where I grabbed the London Fog, the pretty yellow London Fog jacket. I paid, again, only $1 for this. This was in a size 4X, so a really, really good size, and it was just super pretty. I knew this was going to sell. It did not disappoint. It sold for $28. I picked up 2 pieces of Drake waterfowl. I think that's how you say that. Waterfowl Systems shirts. I grabbed one that was new with tags. This one was the one that was new with tags. And then I grabbed another one that was not new with tags, but was a long sleeve corduroy. And y'all, both of them sold really quickly. So I'm thinking this is a BOLO. I know I've only sold 2 of them, but they both sold quickly. This one was a short sleeved shirt. And it was also, like I said, new with tags. It was in a size large. I paid only $1 for this one and for the other one at a yard sale, and this one sold for $25. And it sold within a week of having listed it. This Victoria's Secret pink push-up bikini is in a size 34B. I have had this listed, y'all, for over a year and a half. I mean, it sat and sat and sat and sat and sat. Probably what I should have done is slash the price, but I just never got around to it. And it sold for almost full price. I had it listed for $30. We paid $4 for it at a yard sale. And I had it listed for $30 and I took an offer on it for $27. This was another Eileen Fisher piece that I picked up. This was at a different yard sale. I paid only $1 for this. This was something that was buried in a closet. It was in that same yard sale where I picked up the matching sweater set, and there was another Eileen Fisher piece. And everything was $1. They were just trying to clear everything out. So I love finding really good brands for $1. Who doesn't, right? This was really pretty. It was a silk linen blend, and it had almost like an Asian vibe to it. Really gorgeous in a size large. Again, paid $1 for it, and it flipped for $38. All right, I was at an estate sale, and I picked up 2 of these vintage AT&T trim line phones. This one is the 230. I also picked up the 100. I believe I had the 100 in an earlier what sold video. They both sold. I paid only $1 a piece, and this one sold for $22. This was the less desirable of the 2. The 100 went really super fast. But this one's only been listed about 2 months, so I will take that. I grabbed this men's Nat Nast silk blend shirt in a size large at a yard sale for $1. I really wasn't sure what to think about this brand. The comps were kind of all over the place, so some of them sold really high, some of them sold for next to nothing, but I figured it was a silk blend. It also gave me Tommy Bahama vibes, so I picked it up. Not sorry I did. I sold that on an offer for $18. I think I had it listed for like $24, so I was happy to move it out of the inventory. But a really cute shirt. I would definitely pick that brand up again under the same circumstances, meaning good fabric content and super cheap. I grabbed this Posh Peanut Floral Rabbit sleeper with a cute little ruffle butt. So it had all of these like floral design on it. And then it had like rabbits interwoven into it. So it was kind of like a Where's Waldo, but where's the rabbit type of thing. And like I said, cute little ruffles on the bottom. 0 to 3 months. I really wanted to send it to my Emma, but opted to list it. Paid $2 for it, and it sold within 2 weeks of having listed it for $22. I picked up these Pokemon Bluetooth headphones with a microphone attached at a yard sale for $5. They were new in the box. These sold within only a couple of days of having listed them, and they sold for $24. I think I had them listed for $30, and I took an offer of $24. Okay, I don't know if you remember my thrift haul from the opening weekend of the Goodwill near me, but I did pick up this 1970s vintage Liberty House Hawaiian shirt. I liked that it was long sleeved. I had heard by watching Carly in Thrift Nice that vintage Hawaiian shirts sell. It was in a size medium, and the price at Goodwill was $4.99. However, because it was the opening weekend, I got 25% off of everything, so I only paid $3.74 for this shirt, and it sold for $18. All right, I went to another church yard sale. If you remember from my Thrift With Me video, it was the one that was outside, and it was like 100 degrees that day, and I was dying, but it didn't stop me from digging through the toy boxes because, thank you, Kayla the Homeschooling Picker, I have learned to do that. And I found this bag of 13 of these alphabet cubes, and I just sort of remembered Karen telling me that parts sell really well, replacement parts. So note that as a BOLO, replacement parts for VTech toys and electronic toys, They sell really well, and these I could see on the base of them that they were VTech. So I paid $2 for this bag of 13 cubes, and I was so stoked when I did the comps when I got home because they were a complete set because 13, they had a different letter of the alphabet on each side. So it was actually a complete set. So I took that $2 and I sold it within 2 days of having listed it for 20 bucks. I grabbed these Coach Frederica pebbled leather loafers that were new without the box in a size 6.5 at an estate sale for $5. So they were marked for 10 bucks. And the lady, because I had bought so much stuff, she's like, I'll just give them to you for $5. Brand new. My daughter, I bought them for her and she never wore them, and they were gorgeous. These sold in about 4 days of having listed them for $35. At that same church yard sale where I got the VTech blocks, I also picked up this Lily Pulitzer polo shirt. It is called the Island Polo. It was in a size extra large, and like I said, I paid $1 for it, and it sold for $19. Next are these Hallmark Itty Bitties, and this is my first time picking them up. I grabbed them at a yard sale. It was Snow White, Jasmine, and the Trolls doll. I think it was Poppy the Troll, and I paid only $0.25 per Itty Bitty, and these sold really quickly for 10 bucks for the 3 of them. So I have since picked up more Itty Bitties that have since sold. I don't know if all Itty Bitties sell the same, but when I do find them and they're really, really cheap, I just pick them up because they're so easy to list. They're so easy to store. They ship for like next to nothing. So it's definitely worth your time to pick them up. And if you get a bunch of them and you lot them all together, I mean, lotting these together seemed to do well for me because these sold really quickly. I grabbed this Betsy Johnson purse. I got them at the same yard sale where I picked up those VTech blocks as well as the Lily Pulitzer shirt. I paid only $2 for this purse and it sold for $14. I love picking up Betsy Johnson purses. They always move for me. I have never picked up a Betsy Johnson purse that didn't get a lot of attention right away and then just move out super quick. I picked up this Jess by Jessica McClintock bath gel used and new bath powder at an estate sale on the last day. I paid $1 per item, had no expectations whatsoever. I just know that Jessica McClintock is a good brand. And so I paid $1 a piece, $2 all in. The lot sold for $40. Karen grabbed this Bath & Body Works Mummy. It is a soap dispenser. She got it at an estate sale for only $2 and it sold for $32. I picked this miniature vintage, I'm going to murder this name, Cabochard Grease. I'll flash it up there because I can't do French at all. I mean, on some days I can barely do English, you know what I mean? So I picked this up at the same estate sale where I got the Jess by Jessica McClintock. I paid 50 cents for this and it sold for $15. I don't know. Go figure. I was very surprised by that. Shell Bell has really taught me well with all of that stuff. I have just had tremendous luck picking up old vintage perfume. Sometimes I get them and they're clunkers, and then I'll be honest with you, I just wear it because I like wearing perfume to work and I like having different scents. So I'll just use it, but most of them tend to do really well for me. I mean, look at this. It wasn't even full. It wasn't even 100% full, and it sold for 15 bucks. That's a great deal. I nabbed this Sphero BB8 Droid, which was so cool, for only $4 at a huge church yard sale in the beginning of yard selling season. I knew nothing about it, whether it worked, if it had a following, nothing. I just knew it was Star Wars and it was a remote control thing. Well, then when I opened it up, I'm like, well, heck, there's no remote control in here. So I had to do a little bit of a deeper dive, and I figured out it's a type of remote control toy that works with an app. So I downloaded the app and lo and behold, the thing worked beautifully. It was so stinking cute. I really, really wanted to save it for my kids, but when I looked up the comps, I'm like, no, this sucker's gonna sell. So it has been listed a little while, but it finally did sell on an offer on Mercari for $37. Not a bad flip. I grabbed these Pier 1 Vallarta coffee mugs in a, clearly it's a retired pattern because Pier 1 is retired. And I got the entire set of china for 20 bucks. So I have been driving around with this china in my car for forever because I just can't bring any more stuff into my house. My house is overloaded. But I did pull out the mugs and the bowls and I listed them, and the bowls are still listed, but the mugs sold. And they sold for $26. So I've already paid for the entire lot. Every other piece that sells now is gravy. That's the other thing I love about China. You part it out and you send it off and cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. However, like I mentioned before with the falls graph, it takes up a lot of room. That's the reason it's still in my trunk. And it's a real pain in the butt to wrap and ship. But like I said, now I'm completely in the black with this set and I have every incentive to dig it out of my trunk and get it listed. I grabbed this Revere Ware 1801 stock and steamer combination copper bottom pot at an estate sale for $5 for the pair. And it sold for $42. It sold super, super quick. I love to pick up copper bottom pots. I have sold a ton of them. And let me tell you something, these vintage pots sell really well on Etsy because for the longest time, I wasn't selling anything on Etsy. I really don't love that I have to pay 20 cents a month for per item for everything that I've listed on Etsy. But I pretty much list all of my vintage items. In fact, I only list my vintage items on Etsy. And guys, they just get them sold, especially those Revere Ware pots. They are selling like crazy. So I highly recommend you give that a stab. All right, guys, so for the totals, that is a total of 30 items in this What Sold video. For those 30 items, Karen and I paid a total of $66.78, which makes our average cost of goods $2.23 per item. We sold everything for $748.99. And then if you back out cost of goods and you back out fees in the amount of $97.37, that leaves us with a profit of $584.64. So not bad for a $67 investment. All right, guys, that is everything. Have a great week. And remember, it's not cheap, it's thrifty. Bye, guys.